Dirty and Kitty. He has decided he wants to be in my lap, therefore he gets to be in my lap. Anyway, so wanted to share my almost $2,000 in drawdown on my paper account. I am not resetting it. We're going to fix it. We started this one on the 17th. Let me see my journals. We started this one on the 17th, and you probably can't see. So from the 17th, I've been basically showcasing everything to myself up until yesterday. Right, my handwriting's not the best. I'll show you in the account anyway. So we're gonna try and do this with Kitty in the lap. I don't know how that's gonna work, but let's do what we can. I've readjusted my my desks, so it's yeah, it's been really interesting. Let's take a look. Got screen right here, and then I'm here with the kitty, and I give one more look. He's going to the vet this morning. This is like the most 16 plus years with this cat. This is new behavior, so he must need so much comfort. Poor baby. All right, let's get tiny. Me and Kitty get tiny, okay? All right, so first things first, let's dip into our S&P. Actually, first things first, since I was sharing. See my account's at 18,040. My simple plan is if I can do well with this 20K of paper trading, then I can do well with 20K of real money. So you can see I'm down to $18,040. And I was most definitely 501, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Let's maximize this so you guys can see properly. So yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. 7. New rule. Maximum of 5 in a day. Only reason why I'm saying that is I'm setting a maximum of 3 losses in a day, right? So 3 losses, 2 wins, 1 in the morning, 1 in the PM session. And it should allow me to get in, if I've messed up my entry, to re-enter. But yeah. Friday, I caught the Six Sister and I fixed some of my drawdown. But I didn't let it run to fruition because I could have had a ton more, fixed most of it before I came back in and messed it up. And then obviously my $100 stop loss was not what I was working with because I was testing out whether or not my stop was too close, and maybe that was the problem. But it's not. It's not. In any case, what have we done? We've taken out these highs. Beautiful. I mean, if they're going to really continue upward, they need to take out the highs at 42, 44 and a quarter. Right? Let's pop open the Dixie. Let's also pop open my back testing and my mesh. So the Dixie has just been let's look at it on a higher time frame. Actually, let's look at it on the daily. All right, so there's a volume imbalance all the way up here that they might be digging their way up into. Let's remove that. They're definitely not going down for the moment. They've created a volume imbalance right here and took out the buy side that I outlined. So what's next? And they're inside of this bearish PD array right here. So he's stretching with the kitty in the lap. So we'll see what they do inside of this. Next high to consider is 102, 513. Anyway, so let's see what we've got going on today. I'm testing out this breaker blocks with signals thing. I don't know that I like it very much. All right, let's do a quick analysis of yesterday's ridiculous things. Now, in the morning, leave that. So in the morning, the 10 o'clock, I had specified that they would, for myself, I didn't make a video, that they would come up here. And let's do this. So what really messed up me up is my entry. So I had a breaker specified right here. This is 3 minutes, sorry, 5 minutes. So 5 minutes for this one. Okay, so I had a breaker specified right here on this up close candle. This high, so low, lower, low. So breaker right there on the 5 minute. All right, kitty, find your footing. So I had a breaker specified right here. Now what they did, since there is a fair value gap below it, they dug into the fair value gap. Now, I feel like, when it comes to breaker theory, like this whole thing is the breaker, and I was worried they were going to come in here. But let's see, my first entry from yesterday in the morning was around 10:07. No, sorry, 5:1, 10:19. And so 10:19 was when that was closed out, really. So let's look at the history. So let's go to 5:01, 10:19. Okay, so entry was at 10:18, filled. Did I take an NQ trade for a Six Sister? I did. That's where I lost the most that day. Silly Shakira. Ah. So this is 5:01. So I took an NQ at 10:20 and then that failed miserably. Great. Okay, let's go back to the ES1 though. I need to stop doing that. The Six Sister thing works and you just focus on one thing. So 11:10. Let's see. Does that jive? So 11:10. Why did I take something all the way up here at 11:10? Because I was not patient. The setup was simple. Wait for it to come back down to this breaker. If there's a fair value gap near or around the breaker, or if there's some sort of order block around the breaker, let's see. 4, 3. Now, something that I had noted, and I deleted now, is that we had, inside of the breaker, we had this guy. So the volume imbalance right here, my general expectation was that I should have taken the long. I always take it at the very base of it, and would would 8 ticks have saved me? Yes, perfectly. So, and my original thought was that they would come up to the equal highs and the other buy side up here. That was my thought. That would have been 74 beautiful ticks. But what did I do? Not that. For whatever reason, I took this shift here and waited for them to come back into like an order block here. So somewhere in this general vicinity when it tapped it, and obviously to obvious effect, right? The breaker was where they were really going. So this is the setup that I did in the morning that I failed miserably at, not waiting for them to come back into this space. So they finally gave me an entry from here at this candle right here. Actually at this candle right here. So I would have had to sit through, if I had a limit order from here, I would have to sit through all of that, hour 24, for it to run to fruition. Not bad, right? For 74 ticks, which translates to, oh, yeah, kitty, let me take this out of my pocket. There you go. Can you relax now? This is so strange. He's just constantly. So 74 tick divided by 4, so that's 18.5 handles times 50? 925 in that one run, right? So what have we learned? Patience. If we see a setup, we wait for that setup and nothing else. That's it. Done. Because I really like the way the breakers work. And then in the afternoon, between 3 and 4, it was this shit show right here. Shit show. Pure and simple shit show. That knocked me right out. Now, this is between 2 and 4. If I go down here, I was like so adamant that there would be something between 3 and 4 that I didn't even think to look from 2 o'clock, right? We had this shift, fair value gap, and they dropped in and then came down. My preference would have been this shift, however, and they didn't really give us anything, right? Except for right here, and they came back up into this and then dropped. Just down. And the 5-minute shift. Sit down, buddy. In the 5-minute, do we get something? Shift. They left nothing really, and then just dropped. So, I mean, you need to like take a step back and look at the whole picture. They'd already run up everybody, taken out all of the buy side, and then they showed a willingness to continue dropping. But this is what happens when you're distracted with work. So I took stupid trades in this general vicinity of stupidness. Yes, you heard me right. This general vicinity of stupidness. Sometimes when you're zoomed in on the 1 minute, look at it. So here's my first thing, right? Big drop, shift, came back into order block, small fair value gap, took a long, obviously, failed miserably. And then shift, what is happening? Obviously I missed this volume imbalance right here that was drawing price, and then so I took a couple of losses in the afternoon. Kitty here. Uh, 351, 345. I was trying to get in before it got to 4 o'clock. And I think that was my problem. I was trying to rush it. That's no bueno. Anyway, sorry. So let's go back to our mesh and let's take a look at what the daily is looking like. Okay, so let's clean this one up. You know, I never specified the week start from the new week opening gap from last week. So this is Monday. It's going to overlap with all of this. So let's go down to like a 1 hour. And let's do regular trading hours. It's Wednesday. It's Monday, 24th. Okay, let's see. I'm probably not going to mark it because it's inside of this other one. So Friday, 3:30. Monday, 9:30. Drop down. Where is the Sunday? What? It's Friday. Oh, I guess we'll take this off. Regular trading hours and all that jazz. Here we are. Oh my goodness, it's negligible. So new week opening gap. So we closed here and opened there. Yep, not even going to bother. It's a non-farm payroll. Hey, buddy. it's non-farm payroll week, so trading Monday through um, Wednesday in the morning. Could do Forex Factory really quickly. Anything coming out in the mornings? We have Jolt's job openings at 10 a.m. today. And Wednesday is when we're going to have the real volatility with it, with FOMC, federal funds rate, and the conference. So, and then non-farm payroll on Friday. Let's see. Yeah. So this is going to be fun. All right. So, understanding where we are, NQ, you, so and so. All right. So let's go back to the 5 minute. Let's do a little cleanup. This is, all right, let's do a little cleanup. All right, let's drop back out. Let's take a look at where we are now. So this is the new week, the gap that was formed when the week opened. So actually, let me push this out to Friday. Yes, okay, here we go. To Friday. So I don't have to keep moving it. All right, so on the 1 hour, taking that out, we've had a shift and tapped the very base of this unique opening gap on the higher time frame standard 2022 model for ICT. There, my short after I abandoned my long was for the halfway point here, and they tapped it. Ridiculous. All right, so what do we have down here? They're inside this new week opening gap, and so might just be trying to dig into this BISI, buy side inefficiency, sell side imbalance. Probably digging all the way back into this to tap back out here. Let's go to the 4 hours. Yeah, potentially. Let's see. On the 4, we have a big fair value gap from here all the way down to here. So let's go back to the 1 hour. I'm again going to wait for something between 10 and 11. I guess I might have to extend my window really for when it actually forms. So what does it look like on the 15 minutes? Okay, so that's done. Let's take that out. Bullish order block did work. Look at it. Beautiful. What I should have done was delineated, oops, both ends. So I knew how deep it could dip in and then roll back up. It did work. Whatever. Okay. So now we've dropped. We rose back up into to reclaim the new week opening gap at 245 and then dropped again. And now we are in this bullish order block right here on the halfway point. So I'm just going to note that. Base. Just going to do bullish order block and then I'm going to, that's the top of that on the 15 minutes. Then I'm going to look to the left because that's where the money's made. So they've taken the sell side here. Next level of sell side would be under here, coupled with fair value gap right underneath it. So I'm just going to note that. If they're going to continue on down, things to target below us. So let's do FEG. Let's change that to 1 hour. Okay, along with the sell side. That's only 15 minutes. If they're going up, then they need to clear all of this for the buy side that's sitting above here. Come on, kitty, you gotta get comfy. For the buy side that's sitting all the way up here. And let's be very, very clear that we have some premium PD arrays up here. So we also have a FVG on the 1 hour right here that we might want to refine later on. And then let's also note bearish order block. And let me just do this. Actually, I need this to be solid. I don't know why it's like that. And then let's do that. Fair value gap in this one, so I think I'll care more about that one. If they're gonna bother to come all the way back up. There's the second one. So I know like the top and the bottom of it. So these are the PD arrays. So we can take that buy side off for the moment. And we can draw out CE of this thing. And we still have the old highs up here that they've pierced. Okay, so it's 15 minutes. So we've taken sell side down here. We've hit a bullish order block. What are your plans? So let's take a look at this on the 5 minute. And what's the Dixie doing? That's the daily. Let's go down to the 5 minute. And it's auto. Okay. Let's take that off. And what are we reaching for? All right, they already took out those highs. They took out those highs. Got some stuff over here. Oof, what looks like an actual void. Well, what's left of a void is up here. It could be reaching for eventually. Oops, have to fix that. So it's not just a volume imbalance, it's a liquidity void. That's all the way up there. They could be trying to reach for. So that's all the way up at 102.533 and 102.505 between that range. So for the moment, Dixie's going up, but it's been hard to even use that as any kind of reference point because everything's been trading in the same direction. Dixie's going up, Nasdaq's going up, the S&P's going up. It's been really mind-boggling. All right, so take and sell side here. We're at the halfway point in the new week opening gap, and we're up. I mean, for the small tiny leg, we're on the downside, right? We do have a bit of a shift here. Let's see what it looks like on the rest of the. Let's maximize this and let's add or. So this is the Dow. That's what the Nasdaq's telling us. Okay. So taking out those lows. So these guys are in lockstep for a change. If it's going up, I'd like to see them clear this out, turn this into support. So for once, they're all in lockstep. It's 6:21 in the AM. So let's 4 minutes, 3 minutes, consolidation at the order block, 2 minutes, the base of the order block, 1 minute. Now I'm in drawdown. I'm just trying to clean my drawdown out. Let me just note this liquidity void right here. Sorry, volume imbalance. Fair value gap right above it. So we had a shift. No breaker. It's okay, buddy. You can get comfortable. Is that? Is that better? We can review Kitty again. You could spend the entire time just watching him. What do you think? He is pretty adorable, though. Okay, so we have that on the 1 minute. 5 minute, we have two Fair Valley gaps. If this is to be a breakaway gap, then I don't expect them to come back up into it. So let's assume, so on the 5 minutes, so we have Fair Valley gap, let's change the color to like a light orange, and let's drop how big it is. So let's note that it's from the 5 minutes, and then the volume imbalance is from the 1 minute. And so we've taken out these lows, these lows. We're at this bullish order block, which they did turn around. And the question is, I don't think there's even like 5 handles in this scenario. Let's see. Let's say we were to take from here. Yeah. They'd have to come all the way back up to the top of the order block. This is no good. Okay? Nothing to do here. So let's go back test. Let's use NQ for the back testing. Let's delete that. Since I was 2023. Let's do the daily. And let's clean this up. Got to have patience, y'all. So, I'm just curious. What does MQ look like on the monthly? Okay, we're digging into this wick. All right, let's go back to the daily and let's get our replay action on. Click. Well, crap. Okay, so it's a Friday. Let's see if we could have traded this Friday. Let's set our market sessions on. We're on an uptrend, so we're looking for longs. Let's go to the 1 hour. And let's do the auto. So this is Friday afternoon. Friday morning. Okay. And the 8 a.m. stuff. Okay, so let's push back to here. Okay, let's drop to 15. Oh dear. Okay. Now let's do a little analysis. Well, where are we even going? If we're going up, right? What are we aiming for? Sorry, I'm going to pop back out to the 1 hour. See if we can't get anything else. Seriously? There's no reference point? So I already took that out. Like, it's got to be some kind of reference point. Hold on. Yes, we know we go up. Let's assume there's something up here. Since we're going up. I'm just gonna note that low. Whoops, what's this? Move. Okay. So we're gonna note this low right here. Just gonna see old low. Since we can't really see what's going on with it, so let's just note it. Just make it thick. Okay, let's go back to our 15-minute. It's probably not the best day. All right, so what time is it? It's 9:45. Let's go down to the 5-minute. And 9:55. Okay, good. So, which day is this? The 31st of March. So last Friday. Okay. Last Friday on the NQ. So, they just took out these equal, let's just set those by side. Let's also add like the ES in here. Hold on. Add, I'll add them both. And yes, as points of reference. See, it looks like I can't. All right, let's just see what the NASDAQ was doing at that time. Sorry, the Dow. So what the Dow was doing at that time. The Dow was like reaching up. And ES was doing what? You're not going to tell me? Okay. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's very annoying. So I guess we're just going to be using the Dow as our litmus tests. Let's get candles. Okay. So the Dow has actually been raging upwards for a while. Okay. So obviously we're going up. What do we have to play with? So on the 5-minute, so we have a low, lower low. So we have this breaker right here inside of this fair value gap. There was a tiny volume imbalance that they dipped into. Did they go all the way to the base of it? No, because I would have wanted an entry here. All right, so it's going up. What can I trust? And it's 9:55. We have order block here, small fair value gap here if they want to come back down. So let's assume that's where we get an entry. So let's drop down to say a 2-minute for the moment and see the behavior. What do we have in between here? Nothing but the order block. Ooh, hold on. Low, lower, low. Shift. We have a breaker. All right, so we have a breaker right here. Let's note that. Awesome. So we have a breaker on the 2-minute. Let's see. Does it show up on the 5-minute? Low, lower, low. Yes, it does. Okay. Let's go to the 1-minute. Okay, not the 1-minute. 2 minutes is as low as we can go. So we have a breaker, we have a fair value gap, and there's an order block in the middle of it. So what can we do? So if I set, I should be able to put my stop loss below the breaker. So I want 20 ticks. It's 8. So let's get lower into the breaker so we can be below the fair value gap. And let's see if they give us an opportunity. Sometime between 10 and 11. So we have our sessions up. Curious, does this thing note the breakers? Noted the one down here I mentioned. Let's see. Let's continue. So it's 10 o'clock. And got a bearish breaker. High, higher, high. So this supposed breaker right there. Okay. I'm looking for longs though. It's that kind of day. So I wouldn't trust that. So we coming down. My question is if this is the only order block they're going to mess with, right? If they're not going to even bother to come down to the breaker. So I'm going to try and be patient. So now we're consolidating. Looks like they might not. It's very messy. Let's go up to the 5-minute. It's very messy. Well, let's go back. Oops, go to 2 minutes. So now we have a bullish breaker, according to this. I don't know that I take that off. I don't know if I could see that. So we have a shift up again. This is a 1034. Given the nature of these parabolic moves, could we get something like this? Could I get 20 ticks of a stop in that? Fair value gap forming. I don't know that I trust it. I don't know how to trade this day. Okay, so if we're coming back into this order block here for an entry, then I would have to risk much more because it's, I don't know, it's, did it tap it? No. All right, so hold on. We have all of these shifts, da-da-da. We have a little shift here. No fair value gap, just one right here, but that's it. See. Looks like this volume, this fair value gap is holding things up. Probably should take note. So I got nothing I can do. Anyway. Got nothing I can do at the moment. For this one, they never bothered to come back into this breaker, which is unfortunate. They did the first one though. Once, twice. And now let's go to the 5 minute because now we're just consolidating and thinking about what we want to do. And then, sorry, 2 minutes. Okay, so they made themselves an order block, came back down to that order block, and then took off. I wouldn't have been able to catch any of these trades. Not as I am at the moment. All right, well, now we have another shift. Fair value gap. If it's going to continue on up. I just don't have any ideas to where it's going because I have nothing to reach for it above it. What do you think, Kitty? You're making me like stretch my hands like really. Look at him. Tell you what, why don't you watch the kitty while I try and figure this out? So maybe I'll wait till the afternoon. Maybe something comes up. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to take anything because I can't. Oops. Let's switch to the 1 hour. So we're just going parabolic up. Let's move forward. Okay, so there's the next hour. 2 to 4. Let's go drop out to 15 minute. 2 o'clock. Too far in. Let's drop to the beginning of it. All right, so we are parabolic upwards. What do we have? So we have fair value gap acting as support on the 15 minute. And so let's drop down to the 5 minute. We are still looking for higher prices. There's all this juiciness up here. Okay, so on the 5 minute. Okay, so let's go down to the 2 minute. All right, so we just had a shift up. Now, fair value gap, fair value gap. So I'm assuming there's a breakaway gap. Low, lower, low. All right, so we have another breaker. Bullish breaker right here. If we get lucky and they give us an opportunity, they'll come back down and give us a chance. So I'm realizing I need to take it from the top of the breaker and can I get 20 tick stop loss? Yes, that's beautiful. That should be beautiful. Let's see if we can't get, I don't even know where we're going, but any opportunities? It's like it's just going parabolic, you know? The thing is, just because there's a breaker down there, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. That's where I want the entry. If I don't get it, that's fine. There's an order box down here that I can see, but let's check the 3 minute, 4 minute. Okay. Sorry, it's like foreshadowing there. So we're down to the breaker. I'm gonna buy here, assuming that's close to where I want, because I don't know if they're gonna dip further in. And let's go. Oh, immediately stopped out. So I would have been immediately stopped out and flattened. So let's assume I just lost $100. But they took the whole of the breaker, and I should have been aware of the fair value gap that's below it that they could have tapped into. I still think that they're going to go back up. So they've I need to see how they behave inside of the breaker. So I'm going to try one more time. It's buying here. And this time, now we've gotten a lower entry. We can risk a little more. You're going to go all the way down to this. Really? Okay, so I keep getting stopped out. So maybe we needed a higher time frame breaker, you know? So for the 5 minute second, the breaker is all the way that way. And we had this order block here, fair value gap on the 5 minute. That was still inside of the breaker. Best looks like it's better to use the. Okay, it's gonna be 2 minutes. All right, well, I would have been stopped out, so flattened. So far, 2 losses. That's technically 200, okay? So if we have all of this fair value gap with the breaker, they've busted below it, but let's zoom in on the bodies. They're just doing me damage. Still inside of this damn breaker. Okay, so I'm gonna buy on this up candle. Come on, man. With the same stop loss, this time I'm better. So now we have something to aim for. Let's see if we can get above this thing. Okay. Okay. So we've lost 200. See if we can get above this buy side here. And let's use the fib to make some projections. So let's see. Let's go up there. Can we get that? Let's check another level. That's some good overlap. So that's good. All right. Oof. Should I just take my 250? This is painful. And flatten, because now we've hit my thing and then some. Beautiful. All right, so at the end of this, I would have had, so that was like 515. So my net would have been 315 basically on that one. All right, so what do we learn on this scenario? Right? The breaker, if there is a fair value gap below it, let's assume they're going to want to tap into that one. So maybe, we can try for something that covers that fair value gap, because this one should be a breakaway gap. They shouldn't come back into this one, but this one for sure. And there's no order block in the middle of the way, right? So 20 takes from the base of the breaker with this fair value gap, since it's inside of the breaker. something that we should have taken into account. And then we would have gotten what we wanted. So that would have been 3 trades in that day, 1 good one. Did it go higher? Of course it did. Of course it did. Of course it did. But there's still more time, right? It's one of those situations, just let it ride, right? Like when it formed this, put my stop right under here. Because it's still at where I want to take my profits. Just let it ride. I mean, we're already up to 2.5. Why not take that too? Yeah, something wrong. All right. We're already 45 minutes in. Kitty is having a good time. I'm going to have to take him to the vet soon, so I'm going to stop for the moment. Well, stop filming anyway. Continue until I take him to the vet. Happy trading. Be safe. Let me make myself big for this. Okay. Happy trading. Be safe. And, well, Shakira out. And Kitty out.